Well, hello, everybody. How are we all tonight? Um, sorry about the small little problem with putting the time at the wrong time, um, making it 10 Pacific, which would be 1 in the morning Eastern. I was thinking the Eastern time, but unfortunately, since I've moved, no, it wasn't. As I was adjusting. When I was putting the thing in, unfortunately I was thinking the Eastern time, which I used to start it at 10 Eastern when I'm, in Pacific, so I accidentally forgot that I'm dealing in Pacific time. I know I haven't done that yet in a month, so hopefully we will get Rex here soon. I should actually I sent him the link earlier. Um, uh, gonna I just to you join. Okay, so hey Mike, how are you? Uh just finished your show. Awesome. Thanks for dropping by and liking, sharing. We're gonna be having Rex, hopefully be having Rex on in a couple minutes here. And hopefully we'll have a full chat um for people while we talk to Rex about his book that is on Fun My Comics. So you know, hopefully we'll be able to do that. I had, as I said, put the wrong time. And how are you, Alpha? How are you doing today? Are you still here, Suzanne? How are you doing? And how are you doing, Mike? How was your show tonight? Did you get anybody to co-host with you? You're about to go grab dinner? Okay, cool. And here we have Rex.
And here I am.
Yes. Hey, sorry about that. I'm not sure whether you probably got confused when I said
Yeah,
10
yeah,
for
yeah.
you, and then it's like 1 in the
It's
morning.
like 3 hours away or something like that. Yeah. It's all right.
So,
I'm here.
yeah, no problem. That was my mess up. I was
Hey,
thinking
Mike.
your time zone when I went and set things up. As you know, I'm now in the Pacific time zone. I'm over on the West Coast. Or did
Oh,
you know
okay.
that?
Yeah, you kind of moved
Yeah,
around. Yeah.
yeah, I moved.
And where are you at now? You're just
I'm in Chilliwack,
you're
BC.
still in Canada.
Yes,
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well,
So,
all right.
yeah, and it's been a
So
couple
different time
minutes.
zone.
Yeah,
Cool.
so that's what I meant to put 7. I've been putting 7 these last, month and a half, but today I goofed.
Well, I just appreciate you having me on.
And it's
I
been a
was
while since we've
usually
been able to
you
talk too.
usually do topic lists on Tuesday and just draw anyway. So been doing
Yeah.
head sketches for everybody who's backed the campaign, and they each get a 9x6 campaign of one of my characters. So
Cool.
I just been working on these. It's good practice for me, to do these things.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
it keeps me drawing on a regular basis, and I've enjoyed doing them.
Well, that's good. That's
I've
good.
drawn
That's very
characters from like the not, you know, like one of the first characters I ever drew back in the 70s, all the way up to just current characters. I've got a lot of characters, so
I know that for
it's
sure.
been a lot of fun. Yeah. Well, I've been at it
Yeah,
a while, you know.
yeah, same there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Devil Flyer wasn't created till like 2018. I was thinking 17, but I got to looking at the actual first drawings of him, and I think it was 2018. So he's a Johnny come lately.
yeah. Hey, but if he gets you on the board, that's all the better,
Right.
for
Yeah. And
sure.
it's not just about the one character, it's a whole universe, you know, of
Yeah. Yeah.
characters.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling is. I think
Mm-hmm.
I have the same thing. A whole slew of characters.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get out to everybody. Unfortunately, it takes some time to get them all out, but
It
if
sure
you get
does. Yeah.
a few out
And
at a time.
I want it to be sort of organic. I don't want it to be feel forced, because a lot of these things are like, well, I got a whole universe of characters, and they try and put bio sheets in the back, and and it's like I I
Yeah,
want to
or
work
try
on the
to fit them in.
characterization of these characters, and you can't tell it all in one comic. Hopefully you hook people enough to enjoy. Well, that was pleasant. Let me come
Sure.
back for some more, on your next issue that you come
Yeah,
out with.
yeah, I get what you mean because yeah, I get what you mean. I am the same way. I don't want it too forced or forced at all. Unfortunately, there's a couple comics out that I think that's what they've done, forced some characters in there by
Oh, there's
couple,
more than enough.
couple.
As you know, I've got a pretty extensive comic book collection, and when it comes, my
Yeah,
jam is sort of like the independent, small run stuff that
yeah,
from publishers, or mostly a lot of them being self-published by someone, right? And that's what I really enjoy. I don't care that the art is not quote professional looking,
yeah.
or the
As
writing
good
is
as
not.
DC or Marvel. Yeah,
I I actually know a publisher that starts a lot of words like we speak, but you got the time wrong. But okay, that would be right. But if you start the sentence with a conjunction, a connecting word, that's wrong
yeah,
grammatically. Now, I get it. A lot of people speak that way, but you're not supposed to write that way. And I know a publisher that's been in business probably 25 years. Actually, my uh Devil Flyer's first appearance in another character, Hopper, was on one of their covers. I was in, but I got like a bundle, you know, because they were crowdfunding it. I wanted to see what they had done, and it was Christian, sort of Christian comic type thing. But there was three other comics where they started words with conjunctions, and I was like, yeah, this isn't good, especially, if you're been in business for over 20 years, you need to get a better editor.
yeah,
Or,
yeah. I think you're talking Grok Comics, right?
well, it wasn't Grok.
Oh, okay. Okay. I can't hear you. Were you talking? I can't.
Okay, I think I fixed the problem now. I bumped my cord. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
It was
No problem. No problem.
Starcross. Now, haven't they become?
Oh, yeah. I think there is some sort of association with Grok there for sure. I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, same characters. In fact, I've got the book here. Now, I don't think they did that with any sentences in this one, but on the catch-up tier, I noticed, and maybe these were earlier books, but there's Devil Flyer here, a little different colored, and Hopper back here.
Yeah.
They had sort of a drawn in tier on the cover, and I think this character was someone else. There was three slots. I bought two of them, the last two remaining slots. If they'd had three, I would have absolutely bought three, and stuck as many characters on there as I could. But
Yeah.
they only had two left. So, and it wasn't cheap. It was like $100 per pop, But I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty cool to get your character on a Avengers 101, 181 homage cover, which was George Perez kind of got me into comics anyway,
Yeah.
with his art. Yeah, I think Tribulation Task Force paid for an insert. Uh,
Yeah. Oh no, he says I like Tribulation Task Force, and I
oh
think
yeah.
he paid for an answer. Either that or you. Alpha Proto and hello. I said hello to Alpha and hello Al. Hey Herman. Let's see what do they got to say so far. I'm still a bit sad about Akira. I'm not sure how to pronounce his death. The anime artist for Dragon Ball, I believe, or manga creator. Let's see. It did make me sad just about him, but all the people I have lost in the past 5 years. Yeah, he's gotten into. Oh, and this is me. He hasn't got his American citizenship, um, and doesn't want to cross the border. Saying hi. We read that.
Yes, I
The
paid
ro-
for inserts for myself and father. I
Oh,
think,
okay.
is he talking like ads in the
Oh
books?
no, no, no. I think he was telling me about this that he had paid for them to be drawn into the book somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got a drawing here. You know, there was somebody, Crooked Painter wanted to be drawn in, and someone else has taken advantage of the drawing here in Devil Flyer. I'm working on the last 8 or 9 page story there, Bystander, that focuses on Bystander. There will always be Devil Flyer as the main character, but there's one character that will be sort of a get more airtime than the other stories as well.
Yeah,
Um, and so there'll be a major and a minor character. Now there's going to be more than just 2 stories. Don't get me wrong. In fact, the Devil Flyer story, and the reason I kind of did this as a prequel magazine was it was sort of the elephant in the room. It was is a 28 page story. Plus we had a pinup, did a cover, we did some ads for Alterna, uh, and other stuff. And it was all meant to be like a one and done by itself. But then I said, you know, when it comes to the crowdfunding thing, I need to take the time, build my platform, my channel, which I have over the last couple of years,
yeah.
and get some promotion out about this, and it needs some backup stories. Plus, I wanted to add all these other characters, so I kind of linked all the characters in the dialogue or in the events or whatever to Devil Flyer.
Yeah.
Not everything is directed in this first issue to Devil Flyer, like the Grave Tales story that has Bog in it, the swamp like character of mine that was, which I kind of wanted to lead off and draw myself. Doug Blaylock wound up drawing this first story. I did the storyboards, and then he did the art, and then I put the dialogue, wrote it, and did the dialogue. That's kind of like how I work. I work to the art because I might see something in the art that I want to accentuate in the, you know,
So
in the.
sort of the Stan Lee method.
Well, we did this, not yes and no. We did the Stan Lee method, definitely. I'd never done that with the story, and I tried that with John. But what I found out is after I get the art back, if the mouths aren't open, it's hard to really put dialogue in there. You know, I mean, you
Yeah.
can, but I don't think it makes much sense. So, but you know, I and John Fernandez had done this story. I asked him to do it, and I equivocated and like I often do for like 8 months, and was pitching him other ideas. And then I said, well, what can I get him to do? And he said yes, the Devil Flyer, when I asked him. So that's how it kind of come about, you know. But
Cool.
after we got it, it was like, I think for crowdfunding, I'm going to need a little bit more. So I started putting these backup stories in. Well, Doc Blaylock's Grave Tales turned out to be 9 pages. That chews up a lot of real estate and it was getting to be like 64 pager. You know, I had
Yeah.
Hockey do a 2 page story. I had John Dillard do a 2 page story. And I thought I finally said, you know, I need to get this elephant out of the room, this 28 page story that's completely finished. And I'm just now working on the backup stories, you know. I mean, I've been working on the backup stories. We got completed backup stories, but there's still a little spot coloring to do here. They need
Yeah.
lettering. Everything on the 28 page story is done, you know,
Oh,
except,
that's good.
yeah, it's done. we've got over probably about 85% of the book done at this point. We're in our second 30 days over on Fund My Comic, first time over there. In the meantime,
Sure.
you know, I did the ash can, which you bought and I sent to you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
And
were
that
able
was
to
on
do
Indiegogo, right?
through Indiegogo. It's still up on Indiegogo. Although I'm not really pushing it. I need to actually make sure my emails are saved. I think I've got most of it saved, and then
Yeah.
just take it down because I really don't have that many copies. We only printed 100 of them, and
Yeah.
then we printed the 2 trading cards, the 3 bookmarks, and the couple of magnets that we did. Did a Devil
Yeah.
Flyer
Yeah.
logo
And I got
magnet,
those magnets
and then
too.
Momentum is my company name.
Yeah.
And but already, people who signed up is going to get a full trading card. We've got a trading card that's been unlocked. We reached our goal of 2,500, so we've got a
Oh,
trading card
cool.
that's already unlocked. What was that trading card, by the way? I forget. And
Uh,
we're approaching to unlock a magnet right now. We got a
cool.
Jimmy Reyes cover going to be dropping here pretty soon. He did a wraparound variant cover. It's a Devil Flyer trading card that John had done, so he did a trading card art too. He's very
Cool.
accommodating. Do you have a
Uh,
character drawing the interior? Yes, I do, Elk. 2 people have taken advantage of it, and
yeah.
I expect more
Oh,
because it's going to be a double page spread. Um, and
okay.
once
Go
I
ahead.
kind of announced my deal for it, I think people I actually announced early on, I'm going up on the price. I probably won't, but they'll be wanting to get in on it. It's going to be pretty cool, actually. It's going to be like a Coliseum arena battle scene type thing.
Cool. And also, Elk also said just before that, I was drawn into the comic scene that cuts to us of my father. The teacher says they know not what they do. Okay. Elk says how much I'm interested.
175, 175. I think like drawing tears are probably more than that. I don't know, but people have been excited about that, and I've been trying to advertise that a lot, not simply because it's one of the larger tiers I have there, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I know I would like to be drawn into a comic. I've not been drawn into a comic,
Yeah.
but I've got plans for Devil Flyer. I've been thinking about this for 3 years. It took us about a year to do the Devil Flyer story. I think a year and a month to get everything done for the story. And that was him doing, he did a watercolor cover that's up on there, Golden Age sort of watercolor cover. You're going to see a lot of in this character. And when we reach issue 7 is when I'm going, after this 6-issue arc is up, um, we're going to tell
Start
his
another.
origin,
Oh, okay.
because I think I was like, how can I top that? I think telling the origin too soon or even at all is bad. It can take the mystery out of a character.
Yeah.
And I want, the next story that Devil Flyer will be in will be set 250 years in the future.
Oh, wow.
And because this is going to be Momentum Future Visions, and I'll have stories told in the future. Now, I have one story that was being drawn by an artist, but sadly he's dropped out, so I had to get somebody else. It was The Death of Silver Boa, and that's set in 1959. When you say, well, Rex, that isn't the future. Well, it's his future. It's called The Death of Silver Boa. We start with his death right toward the end of his career. And I thought that would mix it up good. And then we got another story told with sort of a whisper type character, if you know that character, kind of like a ninja lady,
Oh,
told
okay.
slightly in the future. And I'm doing something, if a story is in the past, it's sepia tone. If a story is told in the present, it's full color. And if it's told in the future, which isn't set yet, it's told in black and white. And all
Ah,
my stories or most of my stories now are set slightly in the future. We're leading up to issue 6, the climax. So say at the end of 5 will be full color and we'll be hitting the present time. And then the climax will be in full color and the book will probably be in full color. It and one thing we're doing is in issue 1, it'll have 6 stories in it. Issue 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, and issue 6, the climax will be one big issue. We're doing a countdown type thing where we eliminate a story, and then that allows, and they're kind of all rolled into Devil Flyer at the end. You know, it's all connect. He's kind of made a Faustian deal with the devil. He's kind of opened up Pandora's box, trying to help a friend. And you don't actually see that till issue 6, but it is alluded to in issue 1. So it's all connected. You know, I've taken this time to kind of think outside the box and how can I make this a better story and epic, you know?
Yeah, construct your continuity a little bit.
Yeah, and it's all, you know, all the stories are they're complete stories by themselves, but they may have bits of dialogue like the 2-page Inner Man story. And the reason I did a 2-page story with John Dillard, I did a 2-page story with hockey a couple of years ago, was because of the size of the Devil Flyer story. You know, at that time I had it in my mind, this is all going to be, and I kept adding stuff and it kept growing and growing. And I want it to be stapled. It's going to be a magazine. And when you see the artwork of Devil Flyer, you have to remember he drew it the size of a comic. And so that meant it had to have a border around it, so it was even smaller. He had 2 eye surgeries. He's 73 now. He drew it when he was 71 years old. Had 2 eye surgeries, one on this eye and one on that eye, while he was drawing it, inking it, and lettering it. And so I got a prototype of the ash can, and it was blown up to magazine size. And I said, this is the size it needs to be. Needs to be, you know, and it's stapled so that it lays out and you can read it. I don't like these square bound things you have to look in. You don't want to damage your book because you paid so much for it. I want you to be able to access it, you know?
Yeah, I get that for sure.
Yeah.
I'll ask, will the tribulation have happened 250 years into the future, I guess, in your book? Because did you say that one thing was it that in the future was 250 years from now, or I think that's
250, yeah. Well, 250 years in the Momentum universe that I'm setting up, right? I have a story where these villains basically come in, they're tearing up the city and everything. And I really can't give away the ending. It has like one of those, you blew it up, you blew the world up, you know, it's kind of like you know, Planet of the Apes type twist to it, you know. But it will leave you scratching your head. Is Devil Flyer a good guy or a bad guy? Well, he's being kind of controlled by this chaotic entity. And for every good deed he does, he has to kind of remove this firewall that is leading up to the apocalypse. Now, that'll be in the present time, okay? But now in the future, here's this force exerting itself on Devil Flyer again. And it's going to cause problems in the future as well.
So, well, not the whole thing, but you know, forced to sort of do the bad stuff, as I think you're saying. Sounds maybe a little bit like Spawn influence with him, you know.
Well, now actually that's astute of you, because one of the main characters when I was creating him or thinking up, you know, after I'd created him, was back in 2018, was he was like a Spawn, Doctor Strange type character for my, you know, how did I come up with his name? I usually design the character. If I can do the face, I think I drew him out from head to toe pretty much on that first drawing, which is over on my Instagram. I think it's not very accomplished looking, but it's, you know, I gave him a Kurt Wagner Nightcrawler X-Men tail, which is kind of like a devil's tail from the Gothic times, right?
Yeah.
And I gave him a pitchfork. That might have been why I gave him a pitchfork, and he's got wings. So I said, well, demon flyer, devil flyer, and I picked the one I like. Devil seemed more, and then I created these demon flyers for him, which are kind of like these legless pterodactyl looking things that have the tail as well that he controls. But so does this chaotic entity too. There's a whole story there. I think people are going to really, really like this story once it gets rolling.
So I was going to say, so on the main story, are you doing the art yourself or somebody
On the
else?
main story, the story's done. That was done by John Fernandez. I did the storyboards. We went
Okay.
over the storyboards, and then from my storyboards, he did the
E.
story. And while he was
Okay.
working on it, I said, John, I got to allude to his origin. So I gave him 2 more pages to do a 2-page spread,
Okay.
and then he added 2 pages on the end, which I think which revealed a new power on the last page that Devil Flyer has. But he added 2 more pages after that, after my ending, which I think sort of like an epilogue, which I'd already told him. We'd already sit down and I told him how second issue was going to go. So he kind of did that and, took that and ran with it and did 2 pages. And I think it
Cool.
makes it much, much better story. I said, yeah, this is
Cool.
good. We'll put that in.
Uh,
What's the relationship between the Devil Flyer and the red striped 1930s toy wagon? Oh, what do they call it?
Little Red Wagon.
Yeah, the little red wagon, but they call it a radio flyer. Yeah. Yeah, I actually had a radio flyer growing up, a little red wagon. He probably invented it because Devil Flyer is born in 1899. I wanted kind of that man out of time, type thing.
Yeah.
And that like you said, the Spawn element, probably and in fact, his original the cover that we have up there, the Golden Age cover, is done by John. He's got a blue and gray costume on, and he's got the Spawn Eldritch sort of energy, that's got like, to do that, you have to put it under a yellow tone and then the green over the yellow to make it look like Spawn color energy. But he'll definitely morph into things, and his helmet's kind of controlling him to a certain degree. He removes the helmet at the end. You'll get to see his face at the
with
end
the
of the
helmet
story.
sort of controlling him. That sounds like a little bit of a Dr. Fate influence as
Dr.
well.
Fate, right? Exactly. Yeah, they kind of entered into that in the 80s, I think, and that's where that actually comes from. Cross is that his helmet, as I remember vaguely, kind of messed with him, and the reason I started thinking that was when he added those last 2 pages, he's taken off the helmet, but he's getting ready to go into battle. And I said, John, that really doesn't make sense. He's taken off the helmet, which is great, but why would he take his helmet off before a battle? So now I had to kind of write that in,
Yeah.
a good reason for that. And I thought, oh, I can use this. Usually you can, if you're a good enough writer, you can write around little snafu type stuff, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, we just crossed over, got a new backer, somebody, by the way, I won't dox them, but
Yeah.
a good guy, and he backed us yesterday. I didn't even know
Yeah.
about it till earlier today, and
Yeah.
he put us over $2,700 on the campaign.
Well,
We
that's good.
we got great response, man. I got,
Yeah.
I only had a very short sign up, about a month and a half. And
No,
on the first day, got 60 signatures. In 3 days, got over
nice.
100. And then, we got great support when we launched over on Red Valkyries. She cosplayed Devil Flyer. A lot of
Oh,
fun.
cool.
Yeah, that's always cool. And I, 2 years ago, I wanted to launch on their channel, and they were all for it, but I just wasn't ready and never set up anything with them, but I did ask them and send them the whole Devil Flyer story. Now Devil Flyer's expanded. It has these backup stories.
Yeah.
We're gonna now that we're getting the Devil Flower story and some of these others put in there, you know, and I cut a few that weren't like,
Yeah.
you know, we can do that later, you know. Um,
Yeah.
we'll use the stories, we just won't stick it in this magazine. Um,
Yeah. So another question, sort of
okay.
on topic, but off. How did you get into comics?
Uh, well, I mean, I watched cartoons, loved cartoons. When I really got back, I'm when stuff started coming out on VHS in the 90s, like at Blockbuster and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've seen that. You know, I would remember these cartoons, you know. Of course, some of them stick with you, and I knew all along, I never forgot about, but some of them I'd forgotten about, you know.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my first exposure. I always like, maybe that was the inception, the test tube cross that, you know, watching Herculoids and Space Ghost and Johnny Quest and the big ones like that I remember, but like Dino Boy and you know, just some of the Filmation ones,
Yeah.
you know, where I first saw Superboy or the Atom or Hawkman, and totally forgot about that. But when that stuff started coming out, I would see the openers and go, "Oh, I used to watch that, the 1966 Marvels. Yeah, I used to," and it would bring back memories. Um, the first Marvel thing I ever bought was in 1974. Got my dad to buy for me, 75 cent Marvel magazine. Uh, oh God, did I just blank? The Vampire Tales #5, and that
Oh,
had from Amazing Spider-Man 102 that had Morbius in there, part of his origin, and it was all about vampires, and that was okay. I love monsters, you know, kids like monsters. I
yeah.
get Scholastic stuff that would have like Fantastic Four #1, or when Luthor lost his hair, or you know, with Superboy, the story reprinted, or part of the Fantastic Four origin, or the origin of Thor in like Dynamite magazines. Early on, they had those in there, and that was my favorite
Yeah.
part about the whole issues. In fact, up until the early 80s, I subscribed to Dynamite from the like for almost a decade.
Oh,
Even when
cool.
I wasn't quote reading it and I was past age, you know, it was, and I'm glad I did because, you know, they had photo covers of like Dukes of Hazzard,
Cool.
Chips, Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, you know, it was all good pop culture stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, so I just had a subscription and we just, you want to subscribe? Yeah, sure. And my mother would pay for another year's subscription, you know. Um,
Well, that was nice of her.
one time we had a long hallway about 30 something feet, and I lined all those up, you know, and I got a lot of them. I've got a pretty good stack of them. Um,
And so, what got you into wanting to make your own comics or draw your own
Okay.
comics?
All right. I'll answer that in a second. You asked me a question about what got me into comics. It was
Oh,
really
okay,
kind
okay.
of George Perez and the Avengers. I was so drawn to his artwork. I came back more than 1 month and, you know, said, "Oh, this is." I didn't even know how comics work. That, you know, continued. I knew it'd say next issue, but it never registered to me that I could go back and get a next issue. It just never, you know. Um, my grandfather was in the hospital and we went to visit him, and this is at the time where you could drop your child off, you know, and order the medicine or whatever and go over and visit him across the street and leave you in the pharmacy reading the comics, you know, or picking out a comic. So I
Yeah.
picked out Avengers 147, went back a couple weeks later, he was still in the hospital, did the same thing again, and was I just happened to come out with 148 the next, and I said, "Oh, this is the next issue. I'm going to collect this from now on." And then that's how I got started collecting.
Ah, cool.
What made me want to create my own characters? I guess it was my cousin. He had a character that he was drawing called Lightning Man. What his influences were did he read comics? I don't know. Um, but I said, I'm going to publish that first. And he's like, "Oh, yeah." It never occurred to me, even after I started collecting comics, which at that point I think I was, to even do my own characters. But he did his. So then I started with Lightning Man. Then after that, it's like registered with me then. I finished the Lightning Man story, which was on the back of my great uncle's plumbing stationery. And I remember him complaining more than once, well, you need to get some more paper than this. I go visit him and sit up there at the counter and draw on the back of his stationery because that's what was handy. It was like a square, it wasn't even
Yeah.
rectangle. It was like a square. And up until about the 90s, I had that stuff, but sadly it's all gone now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I it's a struggle with, to when I decided, okay, I need to do something. And that was probably about after 2015. My father
Yeah.
passed away then, so he's been gone over 10 years now. And I was adopted, so they're older parents. My mother across the road here, she's still alive. She's 88. Which is wild because my biological sister contacted me. I didn't even know I had one till last year.
Yeah.
Actually, I had two sisters, but sadly, my younger sister's already passed away. But through that, God restored, me connecting with my daughter, which is awesome
Well, that's
because that's
awesome.
how my sister found me, was through her DNA test through Ancestry.com when they did a family search. She was surprised that I was still in the state. And actually, her father, not my father, but her father, my sister's father, passed away here in town in Jonesboro. We
Oh,
actually have family up in this area, although I've not met any of them. But back in 2015, I created Bog, and I said, okay, I got to settle on doing something. I want to do a book. This was before Comicsgate and crowdfunding. I knew anything about that or YouTube or any of that.
yeah.
So I started uh, working on Bog, and I produced in 2016. Which give me a second here, I'll grab one or two. This is I did scratch art. I got these scratch art things around that time, these
Cool.
sets, and I made these postcards, which I came out with. There's
Oh,
Bog
awesome.
right there. And then here's Zob up here, which is kind of an alien looking guy. That's kind of like Nightcrawler with two fingers and a thumb.
Cool, cool,
And,
cool.
and this, when you scratch the black off, it's this particular sets that I have like, it's made for kids. You kind of do it like etching and you scratch the black off. These are the colors that are underneath. So it's kind of random of what it's going to look like. But I did
Yeah.
these,
I,
uh, did a Happy New Year's card back in 2016. And then I did another one for 2017. And I took my Overstreet price guide and sent them out to comic shops that were advertised in the back in Canada and in the US.
cool, cool.
And I just,
Yeah.
I printed 150 of these. I didn't send them all out, so I still have a few. We may add them to the campaign, some of these to the campaign. And I've got another one that I designed out in 2017 for that year. And that was the only thing that I really published. But I was working towards doing a Bog story, right? And kind of thinking about building my universe and how would I draw these characters in? Because I do, because I liked all the characters. I like big characters like the Avengers. The Avengers were my jam.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, I thought if I'm going to spend a quarter, I mean, every now and then I buy, Hulk, Spider-Man, single characters like that, but I really like groups.
Yeah.
New Teen Titans. I followed George Perez over to, like, when he went over to DC. We got
Cool.
a 6
And who was
a.m.
it?
sticker done. I waited a whole year. God's been real good. I waited a whole year. He's like, I'm busy. Can't do you a sticker, you know? And then once we launched, I saw he was wanting commissions. So I said, I'll make it easy on you. Just do it from Dillard's front cover. And he did me a sticker. and I'm going to have him do another sticker. I'm just going to give that to everybody. A lot of people use that as stretch goals, but I'm just giving that out to everybody. So right
Cool,
now we're
cool.
sitting at 2 trading cards and a sticker for everybody. We're getting ready to unlock a magnet, hopefully. And we got a Jimmy Reyes wraparound cover that's going to come about, which will be
Cool, cool.
dropping here pretty soon. He's working on that right now. He's also trying to finish up his own campaign, his own book, Dragon Rage. You know
Cool.
how it gets, Cross. It gets busy. Everyday
Yeah,
life gets busy.
yeah, for sure. And I know that.
You want me to
And
bring
yeah,
up the campaign?
I've got the campaign. I can bring that up.
There you okay.
Uh, Devil
Up there on
Fly.
Fun My Comic, I got Justin Chrome Dog. He did Chrome Dog to help me out with this, and I couldn't have got it up and looking so nice if it weren't for him. He's been
Yeah,
really good to
so
do that with
Devil
me.
Flyer. Yeah, Devil Flyer, a Devil's Weapon, epic, sized 48-page one shot. A tortured soul
That's
comes to Earth to save it. Can he? Will
but
he
can he?
pay? Will the price of Devil Flyer's soul spell the end of existence as we know it?
It's a redemption story. You know, it's centered around Devil Flyer, but he's not the only character in the Momentum universe.
Cool.
And that kind of came about by adding those backup stories, you know, and then I rejuggled everything. I said, well, you know, after the Ash Can was done, it's like, man, I need to get another campaign up. What do I have finished or near finished? So that's kind of what this is. I've been sitting on the Devil Flyer story since 2022. It was complete. Been sitting on the Gray Tail story that was the Bog story. That's a 9-page story. It's pretty almost complete except for the lettering. We've got Keith Gleason of Mighty Mascots doing the lettering for most
Cool.
of the stories. John Falandes did the story, the lettering for the Devil Flyer story.
So you've got 46 backers so far. You're at $2,713 US. Your goal was 2,000, so you've reached it. Congrats on that.
Yeah, we reached that on day 4, actually.
Oh, that's really good. You
Yeah.
got 21 days to go. So
Yeah,
let's
this
see.
is the last 30 days. We've got a bog tapestry. We've got this image here is from the cover, and that's going to be made into a standee, the Devil Flyer standee.
Oh, that's good.
And we're doing an hardback artist edition as well. And we've got a bundle where you can get the tapestry, the standee, the artist edition, and all 3 covers for $300. We may a little bit later release the standee just by itself, but for right now, it's in the bundle. I may ask him to release that, you know, tomorrow, the standee. I'll talk to him about it
Okay,
tomorrow.
and how big is that standee?
Well, it's at least probably going to be at least 4 inches. That's about the average. It may be even bigger than that.
Okay, so tabletop standee, basically.
Well, it's going to be here. I've got one from Black Phantom, so it's going to be something like that.
Okay, let me.
Clear acrylic, double-sided printed standee. There we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, really, the only standees that I have is this one, and then a whole bunch that I bought from Camel Moon on his Hell Salad. That's really the only, you know. And I thought, moving the ball forward every day, absolutely. Busy is good. Yeah, and I'm drawing every day. I'm working on elements that's going to go into the last big story. With this big story, I want that Jim Starlin cosmic feel to it. I really want to pin it down as, wow, there's something more about this. The Grave Tail story is more like a story about this killer clown that preys on children, and Bog has to stop him. And so that's more of a horror type story. His backstory, although that's not in there, he killed the clown and assumed the clown's persona. We definitely will do another clown story or two in the future at some point, fairly quickly, I think. But
So, so you got the big book bundle, which you say all three comics. So is it the same story inside all of them, but just
yeah, but
the
we're
different
doing
way?
something a little bit more exciting. Of course, the Jimmy Reyes is going to be a wraparound cover, so it's going to be a wraparound cover done by Jimmy Reyes. The On the Golden Age cover, I have an image of him. I can show you if you want to take that down. I can show you kind of what it'll look like because I just got some art in from another Rob Ewing.
Uh-huh.
I am doing some of my own art. I mean, this story might tentatively be in there. It may not be. I'm working on this page now. This is another character, and he's definitely linked up with Devil Flyer, and an intricate part of the story. His name is Geo. I've got that first page and a good start on the second page that I'm working on. Let's see. I want to show you. I've done some other things, like I did this one, a Bog, and another character called Dirty Joe. That's kind of like a cover. I want to do like a Kirby Crackle type thing.
Hey, Lorenzo.
So I do draw, and I am trying to, with this last story, interject myself. There was the ash can there that we put out that had the first 7 pages in it, and then a pinup section in the back. And here is going to be the size. It's going to be magazine size. This book that we're doing now, it's going to be this big. It's going to be magazine sized. This is the
prototype
promo, or I mean the prototype. Let me find it here. Everything's buried. I've got John Buscema Conan pages. I've got a little bit of everything here. I got art drops from like Doc Blaylock. I'm inking a couple Doc Blaylock type things. Now that's a vampire that I have a reason why there might be aliens, why there might be vampires, why there might be anything crop up. Here it is. Rob did a couple pieces. I'll show you the one that doesn't really. He actually did these on my show not too long ago. Here was the first one. He's working with Timothy Olsen on Melvin a little bit.
Melvin,
and he does some work himself. So there's his version of Devil Flyer. And then from the Tank Ferret did me an image on the back from my drawing. I said, I want this, him basically standing there, wings out, and his trident raised and lightning striking so this was Rob's take on that. And after this first issue, I had to get an artist replacement since John's not going to come back for a second issue. He's going to do some things on his own. He's also talking about a crossover maybe of one of his characters with Devil Flyer in the future, possibly. But on the back, you ask about the covers. Are they all the same, or is it all the same guts? Yes, it's the same guts, but on the back cover, John Dillard's going to color on the Golden Age him in the gray and with the green Eldritch, sort of Spawn-like energy. With the gray and blue costume, and then on the main cover, he'll do him in the red and burgundy. On the artist edition, it'll be black and white. And we're thinking about doing a limited release. It may be that we go into man by that point. We may do it because we still have the Jimmy Reyes wraparound cover to drop, but we may do a limited release of 40, a short run of 40 full covers. That would be like the art in black and white, but it's silver. And then on the back, and you'll see down here, I have an armored up, sort of medieval looking new character I created, which is based on Devil Flyer, one of Devil Flyer's adversaries. Except
Cool.
I gave him a double battle axe.
Double battle axe.
So
Cool.
something to look forward to. I want to give you a taste of what's coming down the line. I can't do it all in one issue. So I'm really wanting to just kind of give you a taste with this strong imagery that, yes, I can tell a story. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be epic. And I ain't going nowhere. You know, we're absolutely going to do more books. They're going to get, you know, we'll get this one out this year, and we'll get hard at work. I've already got a jump since I've been working a couple years with other artists. I've already got Hockey's 2-page story. I've got a couple other page stories laid out by John Dillard. He's already got them loose, lined out. I've already written, you know, other stories. I've got a huge Inner Man story. He'll be the next character that I focus heavily on. In fact, I had to stop writing that script. That one I wrote a script to, but I didn't do it like it was just flowing. I didn't have time to draw it all, you know?
Yeah.
So I just wrote a script.
Yeah.
So and I had to stop because I didn't know it was getting kind of thick, you know? It was getting to be a long story, but it's a good one.
Okay, so with this, we got those 3 comics, black and white hardcover artist edition. Oh, that's cool.
And a standee.
The standee and the blog tapestry. So
and the blog tapestry.
How big is that blog tapestry?
Oh, you know, I don't know. It's dark, you know, those are kind of done through Dark Gift Comics. It'd be like the one that Pariah Blood and Mud was. In fact, the only reason I did this was, which I think it's cool, is you know, Doc Blaylock wanted one to go with his others that he just did, and because he drew this, and the real original acrylic painting is up there on the campaign for sale as well.
Yeah, and you said the standee is like 4 inches tall.
I don't know the dimensions, not even priced it out. It's just like, I know, you know, I figured that if Black Phantom, if he can offer a book, now I don't know how thick is. Actually, he offered 2 books, Squid Kid, I think it was, and Black Phantom, and a standee and a sticker for $25. I went out on a limb and I said, yeah, we could do this, no problem.
Yeah, especially for $300.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we led off with that. We'll probably just put the standee by itself at some point, because I do know there's other people that would like to have one.
Then of course you got all 3 covers for $60.
Right.
Cool.
Get $15 off on that.
So that's what, $20 each, which is cool.
Got the Golden Age watercolor done by in the blue and gray costume. Got Dillard's.
Yeah, Dillard's cover here for $25.
I can't say enough about Dillard. I mean, you know, we've sold probably about 30 of his cover. You know, he asked me, you know, I did a stream where I said I want it to be epic. You know, that's when I really got it in to my head. I want this to be something epic that people remember and really enjoy. And he said, well, what's your definition of an epic cover? And that I wasn't expecting him to come to me with that. So I happen to have an old Atom comic, a burst through cover, and that we designed it out and went from there and got it done.
Cool.
And then, you know, that was going to be the original cover to Devil Flyer #1. So I trying to use what I have. I cobbled this all together with what I had.
You got the Falandes cover.
Falandes, yeah, John Falandes cover. He's my neighbor from a couple blocks away. I've known him for over 40 years, since 1982.
Cool. And
good designer.
the wraparound cover, as you're saying, by
Jimmy Reyes. That's going to drop
yeah,
here pretty soon. Actually, we've sold about 15 or 16 of those already. Sight unseen. You know he's going to knock it out of the park.
yeah, that's pretty good. And so these are $25 a piece. So this one with all three of them for 60, you're saving $15. It's a good deal.
Absolutely. And that comes with all the tchotchkes already. We've gotten, if you signed up for the book, you get a full trading card. And who knows, I might even throw one in there anyway, even if you didn't sign up. But we've already unlocked the first trading card done by John Falandes. This is one I wanted, a blank variant cover, so I could draw on some of these, overprint it a little bit, which I overprint about 25% of the print run anyway,
Yeah,
just to take care of any damaged items or, and to have some to sell. I don't do conventions really, although there are a few smaller conventions around here that I could do. I just
yeah,
wanted something to draw on, and I'll definitely get a good cover stock to draw on. There's a lot of people I know, like Jason Bascom and Dan Plegel and Shelby Robinson, that like to draw on blank covers. So, I've never done that. I do have some blank covers in my collection, but I definitely will be drawing some of my characters, kind of like I'm doing these sketch cards after I get
yeah.
these printed up. This is the one I really want to see because I want to start drawing on some.
Cool.
The Midnight character, this is my first Western character that I've created. George Peter Gaddis did this for me recently.
Oh,
That's going to be the next stretch goal. That's going to be a trading card in full color for
oh,
everybody after the
oh,
magnet, after
cool,
we reach the magnet.
cool. And then up next is a digital version of the book.
Digital tier with
Okay.
additional material that will be in the back of the artist edition. That's kind of like a making of section. That'll be at least, let's see, 48, 40, let's see, let's have to do some math here. 12 pages, at least 12 pages of additional material, maybe more.
Oh, so a minimum of 60 pages with the digital.
Yes, that's what we kind of rated it as because of shipping, because
Yeah,
Critical Blast is going to be fulfilling this. But with the digital, we could actually put additional scan material in there. We could make it as thick as we wanted to.
yeah, for sure.
So I probably will do that. The digital tier will probably have some additional material that you can only get in the art, and it may even have a little bit more, the artist edition. And I'm
Cool.
hoping that I'll raise enough to do a clear acetate dust jacket for the Ace edition, and then we'll do a John Dillard's already got started, like a framing that would go around that.
By Abby, by Abby the dog.
Yeah, you got to keep my significant other. You got to keep her happy. That I've had her for 11 years, over 11 years now.
Cool, cool. Elk says he likes the digital.
Well, good. Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah, I actually added that late. I'm not big on digital, but I get it, especially if you're overseas. And I wanted to provide that. So it's up now. This is a John Dillard piece. There's Bystander.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I give him the concept, and he, I generally draw it out, and then, I want something like this, and he comes back with it. There's
yeah,
the Bog Tapestry that was colored by Carol's Colors. I think Anthony's going to tweak that a little bit, Dark Gift, and then he'll
yeah.
have those made up.
And that's $35 plus shipping.
I forget the dimensions; they're pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Black light.
There's
Drawn in tier.
the cameo drawn in tier.
Yeah.
So,
and really, the picture is from the Devil Flyer story, but it's going to be in the Bystander story. It's going to be a 2-page spread, like Coliseum type thing.
Yeah. With you getting drawn in, do you get a copy of the book as well, or?
Yes. Yes, you will. Absolutely.
Okay, just because I don't want to press anything and end
Right.
up
Well,
getting
that's a good
away.
question. That's a good question. Yeah. I mean, I figure if you, you're drawn in, then you probably want a copy, right?
Yeah,
See what
yeah.
you look like. Yeah. And, if we only, right now, we've got 2 people who have availed themselves of the drawn in tier at 175. If, on the Coliseum, we might make them fighters on the in the arena, you know, if,
Yeah.
if we get more, they may be in the crowd yelling or whatnot,
Cool,
or
cool.
a guard or, something.
And then,
But we'll probably have them doing some more stuff if they're. This is modern day Mummy on the left. That's another character of mine, and George Peter Gaddis did that piece. I should be getting
cool.
the artwork from RJ here pretty soon to both Midnight and I want to commission him to do some more. He does some good stuff. Um, Doc Blaylock's got a drawing and devil flyer that he did that is stuck up on the campaign. This may be the last night you can get some of these items because we switch it out every Wednesday, and I've already sent
Nice.
him some new artwork to put up. Usually, some stuff has already come up and already went down on the
And
campaign
then,
several times. We change it out every week.
cool. And that's 11 by 17. So that's cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Big
Webbed
art.
up.
Webbed up. Yep. Bystander. I said, I want bystander like this. And it caught the web and he did it. Doc Blaylock.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to put up some strong imagery, things that really capture your imagination. And these are not just to put up the imagery on the campaign. These scenes are partially cropped scenes, whatever will be in the book, in the
cool,
bystander
cool.
story.
These look like they could easily be some sort of poster at some point for you.
Now, the devil flyer, that's probably, yeah, oh, yeah, that might be used for something else, like on a mug or a t-shirt. But that scene probably won't be in the book, but the bystander in the web definitely will be there somewhere.
Okay. And then the
Original
original art for the tapestry.
original acrylic painting. He sold his paintings for thousands of dollars. He did that original artwork. That's at least 11 by 17. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
big.
and it includes the tapestry as well, the black plate
And
tapestry.
with it, and yes,
So that's cool.
well, yes, I think we can do
Well,
that. Yeah,
well,
that's
no,
what it
it's
says,
just
isn't
saying.
it? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I would have
I,
asked otherwise.
right. Well, I forget because it's and if you buy the original artwork, yeah, you get the tapestry. You're probably going to get the book and all the tchotchkes as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Um, I work with Justin and I tell him what I want and he sticks it up there. And since I didn't physically do it, I didn't remember. But yes, you
yeah,
definitely do. Yeah.
yeah. And then
That
another
way you can do
original
both and
artwork.
say, yeah, this is the original acrylic painting that it was done for.
And some more original artwork. Page 7 of the book
Right.
of Grave Tales.
Of
Anyways,
Grave
one
Tales,
of
right?
one of the
It's written
backup.
like an anthology, but they're all related. It's all one universe and happening around the same time.
And there's a bigger version of the one cover from your friend.
Right. That's a watercolor he did. I was kind of rushing him. He wanted to make a few changes on it, but I was kind of rushing him a couple years ago to get it done because, I wanted to possibly launch it as a book and I needed a cover.
And then original artwork of page 1 of Grave Tales,
Yep.
which could also be considered almost a cover if it was a book by itself, it looks like.
Yeah, it's really nice work. You see the bystander there in the as done by Doc Blaylock, Woman Over the Grave. It would make a pretty cool cover, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, just with the Grave Tales there, it looks like it could easily be a cover.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
just not just the
looks
scene.
it looks like the old Charlton comics to me, some of the horror stories they used to tell.
A
Yep.
hand-drawn bookmark.
Yeah,
Cool.
these are all done by me. I've been drawing these things for the last couple of years. Went through a phase where I did a bunch of bookmarks. Uh,
Cool.
I was doing some bookmarks like this first one here that may at some point be made into glow in the dark bookmarks.
Oh, that would be neat.
I'll have to
That's neat.
price that out, and see what that would cost to do that, but definitely we'll do that. I also started a Shopify store recently. I haven't done much with it, but I will be in the next couple months, putting stuff up like t-shirts and some of this stuff. If it doesn't sell on the campaign, I'll absolutely put it up there for sale. And make some
Cool, cool.
t-shirts and jigsaw puzzles and all kinds of stuff over there.
And then hand-drawn bookmark, another one for $15.
Yep, you're getting the original penciled and inked bookmarks.
Cool. And then another one here. These are looking good.
Slaver coming up out of the grave there. He's another badass looking character. And then we have a kind of a square off on the last one there, Bog versus Dirty Joe. He's kind of like a wraith. Think of like Spawn as a wraith or a ghost, all claws
Okay.
and tooth. Yeah. I'm very proud of this splash page there on a Devil's Weapon. I kind of took that from Amazing Spider-Man or maybe a Marvel team up where Spidey, I remember opening that page to whatever issue that was. He's all chained up and sinking. It got me right into the story from page 1, and that's what I wanted. And then I went to a 2-page Kirby spread of him like over modern day Chicago. You'll see that down a little bit further. There's Cy Marco. He's the leader of the crime family, the Marco family that's been in Chicago for decades. You'll actually, in the next story, you'll see a story in the death of Silver Boa. You'll get to see his grandfather, or his great grandfather, when he was a young man back in 1959 in the story. It all links up.
Right here, I
There,
think this the double page spread.
double page spread. He's bleeding out. He's gotten shot in the neck. He's this little loot. He's kind of in a sort of like a psychedelic shattered, imagery type, sort of alluding to his origin. And actually him, that they are bald and whatnot, that, him, the guy screaming, that was actually taken from a Marvel 2-in-1 outline of a character that George Perez did. So I'm kind of glad we kind of got a little bit. You wouldn't know it, but we kind of got a little George Perez homage there.
Cool.
There's the double page spread. So this is page 2 and 3. It's got a quote by Thomas Paine that kind of sets it says earlier that day, Devil Flyer, as he's sinking, he's saying, what can I say? Earlier that day, these are the times that try men's souls. And I think we are in times that are trying men's souls.
For
And
sure.
our heroes need to reflect what used to be everybody's values,
Yeah.
and have ethics and show us a better way.
Yeah, for sure. Grave Tales.
Yep, there's the bystander, the grieving mother. There's the clown that killed the child. Bog's coming after him. What's going to happen? Here's some additional bystander killer clown, a vampire character that's yet to be revealed. Definitely will be in cameo. And there's Slaver crouching. He's going to be an interesting character. He's kind of like a zombie predator. He preys on dead zombies.
Okay.
He doesn't start out that way, but Bystander changes his nature. He's actually got 666 branded into his chest.
Interesting.
Our wonderful 6 a.m. sticker that everybody will be getting free. I think he did a great job on a riff of Dillard's piece there, his cover.
Yeah.
I told him, I'll make it easy on you. Just do Dillard's pose, just do that.
Stretch goals 2,500, which is unlocked, the double flyer trading card.
Right. That's nice, isn't it?
Ooh.
Little gray toning, little sepia tone look, almost like an old photograph.
Yeah. 3,050. That's an unusual number for.
Well, we had it at 3,250, but I not through the campaign, but he saw it on the campaign and said, "Can I just send you the money?" So I deducted off one of the pages that I sold. For everybody. Yeah, so we get closer to getting this magnet made. There's sort of my company mascot, my speedster, Zigzag, done by Rob Ewing.
Nice name for a speedster.
I think so.
And the team. Oh, that's everybody who's done stuff.
Well, that's part of it. There's, not everybody could fit on there actually, and I've actually added some new artists, and my letterer's not on there, Keith Gleason. But this is going to be the artwork is going to be the content page printed on the inside front cover.
Oh, okay. Cool. Makes
John
sense.
Dillard did that for me. I said I want a old typewriter and a hutch with a cup, and a bottle there and whatnot. And this is what he came up with. It's a beautiful piece.
Oh,
and it's a piece I can use again and again, just for a content page.
Yeah. All you have to do is take up the names and put in new names.
Yep. So you'll be seeing that typewriter again. And maybe I'll work it into a story. Who knows? Critical Blast is fulfilling this. Momentum Concepts is my company.
Cool.
Publishing Momentum Comics. We're on the move at Momentum.
That's good.
I think, I can't back everything, every project that's crowdfunded, although I try and do my bit. I did that before as I was working on my book. I continue to back books. But, when you're doing your own book, you have to hire artists, you have to hire letterers, you have to hire colorists. And that's basically how I give back to the community, is work with people and give them work, put cash in their pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's always good.
And if I can buy their book and want their book and like their book, I'll do that too. Like Doc Blaylock, like Doc Blaylock. I bought his book, but I've hired him to do a lot of stuff for me,
Yeah. And
so I think he would rather have the work than me buy his book, if it came down to that.
Yeah,
which I did buy his book too. It's a great book.
Elk says Keith Gleason seems a nice guy with his mighty mascots. Yeah.
Oh, he absolutely is. Him and Amy, they're wonderful people. He's needing work, or looking for more work. I've seen his work. He letters really good, and a lot of these stories, all the stories except for Devil Flyer need lettering. I didn't even say, well, how much per page? It's like, Keith, I want to do this with you, just take a stab at it, Now I just have to get him the stories and the cash so he can get it all done. We've still got time on the campaign. It will be in demand. I hope to fulfill. A lot of it depends on if we can get everything done, tidied up, and printed up in this election year. I hope there's no shortages and stuff. Going to try and get it out no later than 6 months in demand. Hopefully in 3 months, but that may be pushing it. I am going to be working all this year in my day job to get everything finished, published, and out to people as quick as possible. And then we'll go on to the next thing.
Metal Flyer. I like that. That's a nice name. Expectations.
Yeah, that was something
Yeah.
Justin put in there as a placeholder. I don't know that I've named him, but it could be called Metal Flyer.
I've actually been on a stream with Keith before, and my friends from Hero Shack, they've actually been met him in person at a couple of conferences that they've been at with their stuff.
Yeah, they've been on my channel a couple times. They were lovely people, and he was asking for work over there on Twitter, and I said, "Oh man, I got to get this guy." And Doc Blaylock helped me put the trailer together. And I've also had Hero Shack on the other day.
Oh,
on,
yeah.
on my channel. Chris is great. They were streaming earlier tonight.
Yeah, I was on with them.
Oh yeah, I noticed you in the chat there. Well, let's play this trailer.
Okay, okay.
Do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to stop sharing for a second.
Okay.
Present.
Pedro Ang, as he's called on. That's not his last name really, but Iron Flyer. There you go. Steel Flyer would be better. We'll call him the Waffler. He can make waffles or pancakes. The Iron Flyer.
Okay, so here we go.
How exciting!
Cool.
Yeah, he did a great job of that. No complaints whatsoever. I believe we got a new backer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's check that out.
While we've been broadcasting. So we've got about 85% of it done. I know, Cross, you're a man of faith. I'm a man of faith. Christ has made a difference in all of our lives. And, that was one thing. How do I share my faith in my comic without it being like a overtly Christian? But, because I grew up on the DC Marvel stories, some of the independent stuff. There we go. 47 backers, 2,748. Man, we're closing in less than $300, probably about $250 now.
Yeah.
Pretty close to unlocking that magnet for everybody. That's a great thing. You're not just printing. We tried to focus on the artwork, on the books on this campaign. Not a lot of tchotchkes, although we've got the acrylic standee, we got the tapestry. Those things were kind of requested by people. We've got trading cards. We've got a magnet coming. I'll make anything anybody wants as long as it's in the budget. But we're really focused on the books.
For sure.
Yeah, the book's the most important part about it. I want people to have a great first experience with this. I want them to see the potential in it, and that
Yeah.
you know, I'm single. I'm not married. I'm working. I mean, when I'm in the off season like this, I work like 6 months on, 6 months off. So when I'm not doing my day job, which is coming up here pretty soon, they've already sent me a thing March 1st to re-up. I have to re-up with my job because I deal with chemicals. What is the tapestry like? It's like a nylon tapestry. I wish I had an example. I think it's 30 by something. It's pretty big, you know. Um, Light reactive. It's actually going to look even better once it's tweaked a little bit, the colors. Um,
Yeah.
but it's pretty big. I wish I had one. I wish I had the Pride Blood and Mud one, but I don't have it. It's pretty big, you know.
Yeah, I've seen them before. I've seen Dark Gift
Yeah, Dark
advertising
Gift
them.
Comics does those. So I'm
Yeah.
going to do that through Dark Gift because he does those. And
Yeah.
Doc wanted
Uh,
one. I said, okay, we'll put one up on the, and I don't have it besides the books. I don't have a lot of tchotchkes, you know, it's all sort of book centric, uh,
yeah.
except for the standee and the drawing you know,
Yeah.
the tapestry. Uh,
Yeah.
but I definitely need to get the dimensions up on that elf.
You're not completely sure of the. Yeah. Yeah. You're not completely sure of the size of the material. So yeah, like you said, maybe get the size and
It's like a nylon type
material.
thing. It's yeah,
Yeah. Just to be
and
sure that way you can put it up for anybody that wants to know, like elk, which
right.
might help split.
Yeah. Yeah, I really getting together with Dark Gift's kind of tough. Haven't heard from him. I've asked him and he's
Yeah.
been going through a lot late, but um I could just ask Doc, could he measure his, you know?
Yeah.
They come folded up, but once you hang them up for less than a week, within about 3 or 4 days, it all gets flattened.
Straight.
It all comes out, by gravity. They're pretty neat, actually. I can't wait to get my hands on one.
Yeah, they do look neat. I'd like to
Maybe
get
I'll
one
hang it over the
myself.
shower over here.
Yeah.
You know,
There's something I might think of for my next campaign, doing one of those for
a tapestry.
Canadian.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, doing
And
one
you
for
could
Canadians
do a
too.
group shot of like your Frozen character along with Canadian Shield and maybe even your third character you're thinking about coming out with a group
Yeah,
shot. You know, like "Grr."
yeah. Well, my next campaign, I've decided I was thinking as I think for the longest time, adding it a new book each time, but I
Right,
might go back to that. I'm not sure, but for my next three books, if you will, they're each going to be a separate campaign. Just the next one's just going to be my next campaign's going to be just Canadian Shield 3, and then after that, Snowdrift 2, and then after that, my newest character, the Flame, number one.
right,
And
yeah.
right now, it seems more better to do that, but
Well, I'm seeing more and more campaigns where they have like this book and this book, like 2 book campaigns. So,
yeah.
and then they offer them separately.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
I did that, and I have no problem doing that. It's just right now it's seeming hard to get them all done in a timely manner, and especially with what's happened to me in the last 6 months, it's
right.
even been a little bit harder to you know get everything done as fast as I would like. So I figure if I just get it out there, then I can get the other focus on the next one, get
Yeah.
it out there.
Like Stephen B, he was trying to work on a commission job, which he's full throttle doing right now. And he was trying to work on his stuff. And he's like, why don't I just work on one and knock it out? I think that's very smart. Don't divide yourself. It's hard to, you know,
Yeah,
do your best work and not be in the right frame of mind.
yeah. Well,
That's
the thing is, like Dillard's doing Snowdrift number two. Another guy I know is doing Fly Fox. Fly Fox Pro is doing my
oh,
third
that's awesome.
character.
So
And
let me
then
show you some of the just a sample. I've also had these up on there. They're first concept drawings. Like this is the first concept a drawing of Albino, which is going to be a villain. But now these here are head sketches, what I call head sketches. So you may receive one of these with your order. Of just the different characters that I've done, or different iterations. I like to experiment with these too. Like this Bog has very different looks. Like there, he looks more alien.
Yeah, he looks like, or a little bit like, I think it's Cthulhu.
Yeah, a lot of people have, and I didn't even know who Cthulhu was when I came up with him. But now I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think some of these have turned out pretty well. I'm happy
Yeah,
with
they
them.
look pretty decent.
You know, I've done a bunch of Bogs, but I've done about half of them have been Bogs, and then the rest I've worked in other characters. Here's another one, Scorn. That's an alien race that's going to cause.
Were you bogged down doing them?
I was absolutely bogged down doing them. I thought I should be absolutely sitting here doing something for Cross Comics, but drawing Canadian Shield or something. But he was going to be the character that was going to be, my
Premier character.
Premier, yeah, comic book. What I had kind of set on to do for myself, and maybe it will be, art, written by me, art done by me, inks by me. Maybe it will be my solo, story or whatever project. Right now I'm working on that rock. I showed you a couple pages from that, but everybody gets a free 9x6 head sketch, and they're signed by me. That heel with 3 crosses. That's my last. That represents Christian, my last name.
Cool.
I never developed a. Now this was an original one that I had up on the campaign, took down. Probably I want to put it back up. Actually, it's called the Mighty Battle Brick, which was kind of a takeoff on the Battle Brick Road campaign. But this will actually be on the double page drawn in tier. He'll actually be soaring across the sky, headed towards somebody. He'll be a reoccurring character. That brick will be Mighty Battle Brick. That's what I call him. And that's the first concept drawing. If you could get, so you can see Bog can have all kinds of different, what size, what material? Okay. This might be like 80s Afro Bog,
Yeah. He's a bit Swamp Thing or Man Thing.
Right. Yeah. Tomorrow I'll be adding a sketch card, and my sketch cards are like this. They're done on parchment paper.
Oh, cool.
And, I'll be adding some of these to the campaign tomorrow. Justin will be. And one of them will be the Heap, which is the Golden Age sort of Swamp Thing or Man Thing. He was the original. And I did one drawing of the Heap from an Airboy cover,
Cool.
But yeah, I've been working on these and been pleased. I'll lay them out and I'll pick out some of the very best and a variety. I'm sorry, most of these are just come back from the printer, and then every now and then I'll break down and do something wild, but I've been working on the bookmarks. The bookmarks I hand cut off of like this was done in January of 2023, February 2023. Some of them may go even back to 2020. I guess about the January of 23 is when I started with the bookmarks. But started, this is comic book board cut out.
Yeah. Cool.
So kind of what how stiff they are and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're pretty substantial original art. There's Slaver.
It looks like he could be out of Melbourne.
This is one I'm considering for like the glow in the dark set, at some point.
Yeah, that's real neat.
Kind of with lighting. Oh, did this one in color with the clown killer.
There's no clowning around with that one.
Yeah. And some of these we've had offered up, and like I say, if they don't sell on the campaign, I'll take them down. I'll put them up on the Shopify store later, or I'll keep them. I don't
Yeah.
mind keeping my own work.
No.
I'm just giving
Oh,
people a chance, trying to raise the funds to get the books published, and get some of these great characters out to people. There's a Dirty
yeah.
Joe one.
Cool.
Kind of wild, huh? And the
Yeah.
concept behind that was, what if Bog was made out of sticks? And I kind of drew him with all straight lines and whatnot. How would he
Uh,
look,
you
And
really
then I put
stuck
kind of
it
like
to
a
him.
violator thing back here because I thought it needed something up there to, balance it out.
Yeah.
So I've been busy.
Oh,
Been busy
that's
for the
good.
last couple of years trying to get this stuff done. But it's
Yeah,
been
I
enjoyable.
understand that for sure.
I've got a few started that I haven't finished yet. I do have been trying to put some sex appeal and do some of the female characters. Here's a couple of those that I'm working on.
Cool.
Zob.
Zob.
Zob. Z-O-B. Zob. So I keep working every day.
That's good. Yeah, and of course I have put the link to the campaign in the description, as well
Thank
as
you.
a link to your
Appreciate it.
YouTube channel and a link to your Twitter if anybody wants to follow
This is
along
one
there.
piece that'll be going up tomorrow that'll be available. The dimensions, I'd have to measure it again here. Dimensions, these are smaller pieces, about 11 by 8.5.
So almost
This
like
character, this vampire character is going to be a sub story that I'll be
okay.
working on. You got your main story, and then you've got stories that run in the background.
And are these is this going to be color or black and white or
Both.
a bit both?
Yeah, it's technically a color book. From a printer standpoint, if it's got any color in it at all, they give you like color rate.
Yeah.
I can show you what, since this is for the ash can, and this was the same story here. So it's going to be this size, magazine size. This is just the sort of proof that I had made up. Look at that. Look at that double page spread. That's what you're going to get in your comic, man.
Cool. And is this story going to be colored or will it be black and white?
I'm vacillating whether I should leave it in black and white, or I think it's, or do I go sepia tone with it? Because technically it's set in the past, but I think with this magazine, I'm throwing that out because I'm actually, with the Grave Tale story, it's going to be spot colored, and the color, like Schindler's List with the little red shoes, tells the story. So I may do something a little different, break my rules, because I can do that because I'm the, on the,
You're the one in charge.
yeah, I'm the one in charge. So, you should be able to lay this out and enjoy it. I mean, look at that. It looks like a freaking pterodactyl by itself. It's going to be big. It's going to be epic. You'll want to back it. If you don't, you're going to miss out on some fun, because this is, a lot of people said, John's got sort of a golden age feel to his artwork. Look at those school bus kids back there going, oh, look. He adds some humor in there. Look for little Easter eggs. He's got, in one scene back there, he's got the Daily Planet. If I put the, here's a look at the trading card you'll get.
Cool.
That's nice. They even got the logo in there that he created. It left on a cliffhanger, so you don't know. Everybody's waiting to see what happened to that guy that got skewered through the windshield with the trident in a speeding car. That's not gonna age well. Here was
getting the point.
Here's the tapestry artwork that we printed for the ash can. Here's a piece I did right there.
Cool.
Headshot. usually use this to ink with, that's what I did for that particular piece. Got ink in the barrel and it's brush tip. Love that thing. I also write with this. It's got like a tip there, and then it's kind of got a felt brush tip on this end. I write and draw with these things. Love it. But yeah, man, this is going to be a nice magazine size comic that is going to, I mean, when you have the 2-page spread and it looks that big and looks that good, I said, yes, this is what I want. And when you look at it and you go, well, he didn't quite complete that line there. Look, he had eye surgery twice, one on this eye, that eye.
Yeah.
And he did it the size of a comic book, even smaller with the gutters, so it's that much smaller. But it needed to be blown up. It's pretty complete. His panel work is awesome.
And that's the
John
thing.
Dillard's going to do me one of these, but with my character. This is the 1986 Marvel 25th, anniversary sort of thing that John Romita Jr. did, and he's working on putting my characters around. Eventually we'll go all the way around though on mine for framing.
Cool.
Something to use in the future. Something I can use again and again.
Yeah.
So, I just got artwork in from Rob Ewing. I just got some artwork in from Doc Blaylock.
Yeah.
And, I was, even before I was doing the sketch cards, I had like these paper pads and I was doing, head type. Yeah. I was trying to get some of my characters I haven't drawn a lot,
Yeah, I know that feeling.
So, I have such, these are going to go to Shadowhawk. We did a tray, or he liked these, and I said I'll send it to you. So there was the first one, Dirty Joe. Like I say, he's like Venom, Wraith claws, teeth, and then the second one here. I did these February last year.
Cool. Neat.
So he likes those, but I can print them. I've got them scanned, if people want that on the campaign, I can absolutely scan that or, have that as a stretch go or whatever. But I'm just trying right now, racking my brain. I need some sex appeal. I need to put up more female characters.
Some female content.
some tatas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I create like the monsters. I create like the heroes. And if you want a spoiler, oh,
sure.
Here's my other ones. There's another one I did. I didn't know that she had these scans. There's a new one I did. Another character of mine from way back in the 90s, I think, or maybe even 80s.
That one's neat.
Oh. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody's going to get one of these for free.
That's nice. Yeah, they're nice, light, and they don't weigh much, so they shouldn't, mess with your shipping costs too much.
Oh no, not at all. With RJ, that's the good thing about it is he weighs it all out, ahead of time when you're setting it up. Yeah, this is the guy or someone like it that's going to go up against is going to go up against Devil Flyer in the next story.
Cool.
The next Devil Flyer story. We may do a zero issue. We may do a zero issue next. Oh, and here's one more that fell down there. These are thick. Actually, two more. So there you go.
That guy looks a bit nasty.
Yeah, he's supposed to look nasty.
Yeah, well, I figured that.
Yeah, he's not really a villain. I mean, he starts out as a villain and he's kind of converted, from preying on live people to preying on the dead. So he becomes a useful instrument for good. It doesn't make him, he's more like a demon, skull-like guy with a serrated horn coming out of his forehead. I mean, I basically created him while talking to Stephen B. And he had this panel that he was drawing, this character in one of his books, Crypts and Legends. And I got the idea, ooh, zombie predator. And so then after that, a day or so after, a couple of days after, I drew Slaver. And I wanted him to be a badass looking character. It's not always heroes and capes, with me. I want people to see the full range of what I can do, like Midnight being the Western character.
Yeah.
I'm real excited about her because I don't have probably more excited about her than any other character. As you know, I'm a super collector, and I've been collecting for many, many years.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is develop some of these characters. Here's a character I haven't done anything with. Drew this back in 2017, although his character goes further back. That's Oak there.
Is he made of wood?
Yes, he is. He's made of oak wood.
The mighty oak.
The mighty oak. That's right. So I've got characters. I mean, if you want to see like one that John Dillard did for me, that, at first I was going to put it as the first trading card. And I said, let's lead off with something else. I've got John Philande's Devil Flyer story. It needs to be about Devil Flyer. So we stuck that as the first trading card. But back in 2018, I did characters like this, sit down and was unemployed for a while. So
yeah.
I sit down and
It's a bit like The Thing.
Yeah. Well, I was always trying to create, characters like that. Often I'll start with the head, and then I'll, from there extrapolate a costume.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, if I can get the, the face, then I can generally get the,
the body,
the character. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've got a lot of characters. Some of them viable, some of them not viable.
Yeah.
You gotta be,
sometimes you never know till you get them out there how viable they are or not viable.
right. Yeah. Well, I just love comics in whatever form, I mean, we got people doing treasury editions now, big editions. We got little digests. We got Apex Comics doing mini comics.
Yeah.
That's one project that Devil Flyer is going to be in once Fembat launches, is Devil Flyer versus Fembat.
Yeah, I showed this to Devil. He just said his name. Fembat.
Dillard?
Apex.
Brent? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Apex.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you can't see that here. Let me.
Oh, wow. That looks like a big little book. Wow, that's Brian.
Yeah. It's just covers of Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah, Brian Bolland cover there. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, but if you go in, it just shows like all different covers of Wonder Woman. And I got this at the dollar store.
Adam Hughes, you did?
Yeah.
What dollar store was that?
Dollarama. It's our one up here in Canada.
Oh, we don't have a Dollarama. You ought to pick one of those up for me. Do it.
If I know where, I'm pretty sure I remember where I got it here.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
But
did you get it for $1.25?
No, it was like $3 or $4.
Oh, really? Your dollar store has $3 or $4? Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, our dollar store is
our
main dollar store.
Our dollar store has like $5 items. They're usually like food, like frozen pizzas, or Yeah, they got like
Yeah.
$5, $4, $3 items now.
Yeah, they've
Nothing for
unfortunately.
$1 hardly anymore,
I think
sadly.
there's some things for $1, but not too many anymore.
Right.
But when I saw this, I automatically thought of Apex because of his books.
Yeah.
And that there's the website to the place that produced it on the back
Yeah,
there.
ISBN number. Yeah, even if we can't find another one at the dollar store, maybe we can look the ISBN number and I can go get one. That's pretty cool, man.
Or the Insight Editions, their website. I actually went to. I think you can get it there or find out where you can get
Okay. Only $50, folks.
it.
See how they get you?
But yeah, I thought that was pretty neat, and yeah, I'd like to put my books in something like that too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good format. And actually, you know, that's how I'm going to start off with the artist edition. And I thought because he did the color, the artwork too small, we were thinking about going digest. And I might still go digest, but I'll probably offer, the digest size or something like that up on
Yeah,
up on my Shopify store. We can absolutely do some other stuff, after on the campaign. You come out with these digests, and these were 100 pagers.
yeah. I have stuff like that for Archie.
What size? What material? Was
Uh,
that still talking about the tapestry? Okay.
Not,
I
yeah.
didn't know if that's a new comment or whatever. But
No, it's been up there
I,
for a
I, I
while.
used to have a whole roll on here across there, nothing but digest. That's where I
Yeah,
learned a lot about the DC universe, and I read stuff that I normally wouldn't read and spend, whatever 35 cents or 60 cents or whatever a comic book was, but for like 95 cents, and they eventually went up all the way up to like
yeah.
$1.95. I can't even remember, 75.
Yeah,
Uh,
like I said, I have a bunch of those for Archie. I never even knew that they really did them for DC as
yeah,
well.
you started out with Archie, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, you like my Shanu?
Yeah.
Okay,
Abominable
he's not a
Snowman.
Shanu, but I like to call him a Shanu.
A
I didn't
Yeti.
pay $75 for him either. I bought him
I
a
would
couple
hope not.
Christmases ago. Uh, I want to do these. I want to do some
Oh yeah.
coasters like Dillard
Yeah,
did,
same here.
you know?
I'd like to do those too.
Yeah. I'll have to check with my local printer and see if they can do these, because I would definitely like to do that. Let me see if I've got the, here we go. I only printed 50 of these. I have a few more left. I might offer them up on the campaign. The 2017 Bog. And that's the first word he ever said.
Eh.
Hey. But we designed that out and sent that out to comic book shops back in 2017.
Oh, cool. Was that well, you didn't have any books, but that'd be a good way to maybe try and just, give
It
them
was a
something cool.
promo. It was a
Yeah.
promo postcard to send out to people, say Momentum Comics is coming, which it never came. But
Well, it
it's here
has
now.
come. It has come just a little later than what you
Right.
thought.
And like Marvel's done some of those mini comics too. Like these were like
Yeah.
snack cakes, Drake's little snack cake minis
Oh yeah, cool.
in a series. That one being Silver Surfer.
Yeah, and you'd see stuff like that in whatchamacallits. With action figures or whatever.
And
He-Man had them.
you would actually get two of them in a
Cool.
package. These were done back in the 90s.
Oh,
They're
cool.
different. And what's cool is Silver Surfer, Spider-Man,
Wolverine.
Wolverine. They're different titles.
And how
And
readable are they with you know, being that
Well,
small.
surprisingly, you can read them. Yeah, good layouts too with the Jargonaut. There's the Hulk. Ron Lim. Too bad it's not like Del Keown artwork. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and Apex is legible. It's readable. It's small, but it's it's you can definitely read it. I mean,
Yeah.
not not too bad actually. And both of them have wraparound covers.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Yeah, well, I'm supposed to be working on a mini comic. That I actually suggested that to Apex and to Hex. That why don't we do a mini comic? And I I just really haven't gotten to it.
Yeah.
I'll try though.
Definitely. Picking out.
Yeah, that's my mascot. Till I send it to Doc. Doc Blaylock wants it, so I'll send that to him. Maybe. I'm holding your pig hostage. Yeah, I used to work at World Color. They used to do all the Marvel Comics printing, but what I got to do was like, American Way, stuff
Cool.
like that for the airlines or maybe Disney catalog or so I know how I worked in the bindery where you actually put together. I've worked on Newsweek and all kinds of magazines and stuff and helped put
Yeah.
them together. So and my little moniker is kind of like this little candy dispenser, little fuse bomb.
Yeah. That's from Mario, isn't it?
This I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was neat.
Oh, okay.
St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and this guy looks like the Wizard, the guy from Wizard. Picked him up at the dollar store.
Cool.
His
Cool.
nose
Cool.
could probably be a little redder, but he looks like the guy from Wizards. You ever watch that animated Ralph Bakshi, The Wizards?
I don't think so.
No.
But it looks like maybe something out of a comic strip, Wizard of Id, or something like that.
Have
Ooh.
you ever seen my Avengers #4?
No. Is that the way that they used to
Color
do covers?
separation? Huh?
I was just gonna say, is that the way they used to do the colors and all
The
that back
printing.
when?
Yeah, the printing. Yeah.
Oh wow, that
Think
is
about how.
definitely.
Now, I think this came out, what, 1963, 64, 64, probably? That's
Oh
how
wow,
old that is. This is older than I am.
that
One
is
of a
neat.
kind. Most of that
Yeah,
stuff was destroyed. Yeah, I mean, it being a key issue. But if you were to put it up, they're like, oh, that's not original artwork. Well, that's production artwork too.
yeah,
Original artwork is production artwork. That's just one stage of the production of,
yeah,
printing a book. And they do it differently. Most of it's done in the computer nowadays,
yeah.
which is sad,
Yeah,
you know. I'm all about traditional artwork and doing it because that's what I know what to do,
yeah,
basically. And I think that's satisfying because you have original artwork that you can sell afterwards, you know.
yeah, for sure.
I like that. If it's done digitally, you can print it out, but it's not the same. This is
For
printed
sure.
material, so they kind of view this as worthless up till the early 80s, and that's why it's collectible because it was destroyed. It's amazing it's still alive and I mean still
Yeah,
around, you know.
yeah,
My house
it's
burns
definitely
down
something.
tonight. If I don't have that in my safe, it's gone. There's been
Yeah,
treasures lost and found every day, you
for
know.
sure.
There was a woman that I uh, that talked to a friend of mine. He was at the standing in line to get his clothes from the laundromat, public laundromat, and somehow, he's a comic guy, so somehow the topic went to comics. She says, "Oh, I've got a bunch of old comics. I'm a teacher, and I really can't use these in the classroom because they got Nazi stuff all over them. So, and I'm just looking for a dumpster to throw them in big enough. I don't want to fill up my trash can. He went out there and they're full of Golden Age comics, early Wonder Woman stuff and other stuff. He sold one of them for $3,000. It really wasn't in that great a shape. The other stuff that was in better shape, he kept or added to his collection or whatever, resold for a lot of money. He said, well, I got to be honest with you, ma'am. Some of these are a lot of money. She said, I don't care. I just want to get rid of them. Treasures being lost and found every day, folks. It's thrown in the
Yeah,
trash. You
for
know,
sure. With people
I'd
that
like to produce
don't,
something like this, Cross. These are gumball machine characters
oh yeah, I'd like something
that you
like that
snap
too.
together. They just come in that little bubble and you snap them together. You put the head together with the body parts and
The body's probably in the head. You open it up, take it out,
the body's in the head, I think. Yeah. And then you
and
very easily, might have to. Wouldn't that be cool? You could these you could probably produce cheap enough where you could do all your characters, a bunch of them, or do
yeah.
like 5 per campaign in sets. Wouldn't that be neat?
Oh yeah, for
I want
sure.
to do something like that. I've got an alien head here too. This thing, I bought these at the dollar store 2 years ago. They hadn't made, and you put them on your car antenna.
Huh.
It's an antenna topper.
Cool.
Oh, a couple more. So we
Listen,
got some new sketch cards coming up,
yeah.
done on parchment paper, and they're put in hard, card top loader, and you'll get them in the top loader. Since they are done on thinner, I like the look of the parchment paper. I had a 6-hour stream, Cross, where it took me 6 hours to cut these out by hand.
Ouch.
I did 190 of them, 180 or 190 of them. I'm still drawing on them.
I can believe it.
Put my toys up. You get my toys out. I got all kinds of toys.
Don't be toying with me.
Yeah. There's the Gorgo head.
Gorgo.
That was my Christmas present from Shadowhawk.
Cool.
Some Godzillas.
Cool.
Got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I enjoy toys.
Sure.
I enjoy comics, pop culture in general.
Yeah, I do too. I can't wait to get my own place again and be able to set up all that stuff again.
Yep.
It's all in
I
storage.
totally forgot about reviewing Doctor Who today. I was supposed to review Doctor Who today and didn't do it. Didn't even invite the guy that I forgot to invite him on. Texas Dave Houston. He's usually on with me on Tuesdays. We had a show over on Pops' channel for like 7 months. The show offs where we showed a lot of our collection, which gets you disorganized after a while.
Yeah, you gotta take out stuff, put stuff back, and sometimes you don't put the stuff back.
That's right. You are correct, my friend. Found my template. Yay!
Oh yeah,
I think I saw
got
the other
those.
one around here too. Well, I've enjoyed this. We're planning for the future. We've got good artwork being made by artists. This is a cover to Devil Flyer number 6 that will be coming out.
Oh wow, you've already got the covers for future issues.
For future issues, right? Because I know where the story's going. And
Yeah.
this is a linked up story. It's going to wind up in this cavernous, hellish realm. And this is like my Aquaman, that's Sea Demon.
Okay. Yeah.
The story starts here, folks. Story starts here. Spoilers. Story starts right here. The whole Devil Flyer saga. And the cool thing about what he works, eventually we'll do a character. This is another character called Sweet Baby, although it's spelled in Japanese. He does the pencils on the back and then puts it on a light box and inks it.
Oh, nice.
Now he could have done it digitally, but I said no. I want some example of your work. He did Octagon, so pencils on the.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. I
Yeah,
got the Octagon when
Ryan James.
yeah, I got it when I was out in LA.
Yeah.
He met me
So
at
there's his iteration of Bog, and we got Silver Boa. We got Sweet Baby up there on the wheel, and on the guy with the motorcycle, that is going to be Storm Rider.
cool. Your Ghost Rider type character.
He's lightning powers instead of flame,
Oh,
but he is on a motorcycle. Yeah.
okay.
And
Cool.
Metal Movies and Matt from Metal Movies and Brewskis, he's gonna be, well, he was gonna do a Storm Rider. I think we've actually settled on a new character for him to do.
Cool.
I mean, it's not a new character for me, but it's something that's not been developed and drawn by. He said, "Give me a character that's not been drawn by anyone except you." And I said, "Okay, I can do that." Definitely got. Don't want to show that. That's the last page of the Gray Tail story. That's spoilers there. That'll give you the ending. You don't want to see the ending, do you? Of course you do. But
Yeah,
good
I
stuff.
do. But then again, the problem is the ending without some context doesn't mean a lot too. Sometimes. Nice. That's from the Grave Tales
Mm-hmm.
or
I really like how he
Bob.
did. We got to talking. I commissioned him for a female character, the Nubian, and she's pictured on John Dillard's cover. She's one of the 13 characters that are down below. On all my comics, I like first appearances. That's what makes it collectible. So you'll get, I think in the Ash Can alone, we had first cameo appearances of like 17 different characters. Of course, we're going to have a lot at first, right? And we'll have a lot in this one too. There'll be some people making their first appearance in this as well. So I think you're going to get a good value, good collectability. We just have to get it out there.
Yeah.
I will be definitely in the next few years. I'll be ramping this thing up, and we'll be getting it going. And we're definitely headed somewhere.
Yes.
and then it doesn't even end there. Issue 6, you'll read that and go, "Damn it, Rex, you're making me buy issue 7 to find out what happens."
Yeah,
But we
of
get
course.
into the origin of Devil Flyer.
Oh, which will be sweet.
Which will be sweet, right? Yeah, and I'll try and condense that, put that into one comic, whatever it calls for. But we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So let's get there together. Go back, Devil Flyer today. I'm on YouTube daily on my own channel, as Cross Comics knows. He's been a guest on my show from the very beginning. When I started first having people on, Cross Comics came on.
Yeah.
Many moons ago.
Yeah, and it's always a pleasure coming on your channel.
Absolutely. And when you get, where you want to come on again, just hit me up.
Yeah, and I know that anytime that I'm on, unless I'm interviewing somebody, of course, you are more than welcome. If you're in the chat and you just say, "Hey, send me a link," no problem.
Mike Walters was in here. Lorenzo, hey Lorenzo. Mike Walters was in here, and I know you do a lot with Mike, kind of like a co-host for him. I'm a co-host kind of with Apex. I've been doing that for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And on the next Apex After Dark, it's going to be on his birthday. His birthday's coming up. I believe it's the 16th. 16th. That'll be Saturday.
Friday? Oh, Saturday.
Saturday. Yep. We're already on the 12th. It'll be the 16th. And then 17th, St. Patty's Day, I'll be on with David Brink from Genuine Comics. And on the 27th of this month, I'll be on with Dojo Kun Comics. And then the 23rd, the week after Apex's birthday, we have my friend Elsie's birthday. And I will have Selena Hernandez on.
Cool.
So we have people like Cross Comics, Mike Barron, Dan Lawless, Tome of Reckoning, D. I mean, just a whole host of people that we interview and talk comics and collectibles and not just that, but toys like Blue Harvest. I'm going to be having him on here pretty soon. We just
Cool.
had to arrange a time. He's out of the UK, so we may have to make it on the weekend or, earlier to accommodate the time difference.
Yeah.
But, I've had on Ray from Australia and Risey and
I've had
Hockey
Risey
and
on myself.
people from all over the world. Had Anna.
Yeah.
In June. We're gonna have a broadcast from Japan.
Ah, cool. Yeah, technically,
Anna's
I've had somebody from Japan on mine.
Anna. Well, she lives in France, but once a year, her and her band go over and meet family members because she's half Japanese, and they play.
Yeah.
And so she said, would you like in June that you have an exclusive broadcast of us, interview us while we're in Japan? I'm like, absolutely. You bet.
Yeah.
That's fun. You bet.
Yeah.
And if it's not fun, I don't like to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Unless it's work, and then you get paid to do not fun stuff.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to go apologize to the topicless guys because I kind of just abruptly jumped out when you said, I'm on live now. They may still be going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'll tell them my internet went out. I'll lie about it. Is that a good idea?
I don't think you need to. You just say you had a
don't need to
prior
lie.
commitment because technically we did set it up for 10 p.m. Eastern. You saw the time on this and the broadcast and
I even make bog pecans. Did you know that?
No.
Let me see if I've got one here. This one I just found. So, here it is. So I've done over 250 of these. They're all numbered and they're all dated from when I did them. This one was done April of 2022. It's number 241. And I find out the best side and I draw a little bog face on it.
Now that's something you should actually probably put up on your campaign.
I'm going to put these up on my campaign. Of course, these aren't flat, so they'll be a little bit harder and you don't want them to get broke. But I've got one more I'm going to draw tonight that I found out in the yard. That the squirrels were good enough to get all the outer hull off of. And usually those wind up scarred up from their teeth marks, which kind of makes it interesting.
Yeah, well, then you just color those pieces in. That's part of bog. They're shadowing.
Yeah. So send your pecans to me. I'll decorate them. I've done over 250 of them. I want to do 1,000 of them. I will put these up on the campaign here pretty soon, though. Guess I need to take a picture and a good scan of one so I can get it up there.
Yeah, good.
But I've been creating characters and drawing comics since the 70s. Zigzag. You want to see a couple? I think this might be the original Zigzag where he came from.
You zigzagged.
I was just doing, and then from there I did a few other things a little bit better. Here we go. Here was maybe the second, and this is back in March of '93.
Cool.
That's kind of what this notebook's from. And I've got one in color here. I envision him in red, but I think I'm going to do that I think I'm going to do him like he's lit, like he's lighted. Actually, I have two zigzags here. This one here.
Cool.
93. And then this one here. So he's been around since 1993. So is Sea Demon. He was created around 93.
Yeah, that's around the time I was starting to create my universe too.
Yeah. This is just the old notebook I filled up back then, like the cover, bought it at Walmart probably or something like that. Well, let's see. 12 cents at looks like Walmart or Kmart. I can't tell what that is, but yeah, fill it up. I draw, I ink, I write, I do the whole thing. I think I'm probably a better writer than I am an artist, but I'm working on a few things.
Yeah,
But if I've got so many characters, I have to get like I've talked to you about maybe inking something at some point,
yeah, for sure.
because you've inked stuff for like Melvin, and it
Yeah.
looked great, looked awesome,
Oh, thank you.
um, huh?
I said thank you for the compliment.
Yeah. Oh, it looked great, man. Your inking was awesome on that. Yeah. And I know you're always looking for work,
Yeah, yeah,
for
especially.
jobs like that. And you can do some digital stuff, and you know, I don't do digital, uh,
Yeah,
but hey, man, if I can employ some people to do some stuff for me, and it helps them and it helps me.
for sure. Yeah, that's half what I'm trying to do too. Trying to, I can do a little bit myself if I have to, which sometimes I do. I've done more of the coloring lately, but for my
Yeah,
comic. But if I can, get that out there, build my empire, if you will, my comic empire, by because there's no way that if I'm doing 7 or 8 books or more, that
yeah.
I'm gonna be able to do it all myself. So
Right. I mean, that's what I said. I mean, even on Devil Flyer, if I'm going to expand this thing, that's why I got John involved to do that story. And he did most of the work. I've got to be honest. I wrote the story. Yeah, but that's no big thing. I did the thumbnails and kind of went over that with him, but that wasn't a big thing. He's the one that had to draw it, ink it, letter it, and, that takes a
yeah,
lot of time.
yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for having me on, man. This
Yeah,
was
no
this was
problem.
fun.
Yeah, it's great. And yeah, like I said,
I
anytime that
kind of
you
missed you,
wanna,
I know
yeah,
you've been busy and doing other things, and about the
yeah,
only time I see you is over there on mic with mics.
yeah. Well, the odd time I pop in yours too.
Yeah.
It's getting used to this new schedule, this new time zone.
Hmm.
Like I've been in the Eastern time zone all my life. Now I got used to everybody when they did. Now it's like everything's 3 hours earlier for me. It's like
Everything's changed. I
it
was
throws
calling
your,
today Monday. Hello, today's not Monday.
but it
We're
threw
nearly
everything
middle of
for
the
a
week
loop.
by now.
Yeah.
So are you no longer an hour ahead of me?
No, now I'm 2 hours behind you.
Okay, now you're 2 hours behind me. Okay, so you're on the West Coast or
Yeah, yeah,
within that. Okay. So there's
yeah.
two
Like
hours. That's nice to know because Adam Lawson is out there, I think in California or somewhere like that on the West Coast. And I was thinking it was 2 hours, but I wasn't sure the
yeah,
difference.
like I'm an hour away from about an hour
Excuse me.
away from Vancouver.
Okay. I thought Vancouver was on the east side. That shows you how much I know. Maybe I'm
No, no,
in
it's west.
Vancouver. I thought that was the French Quarter. Or that's
No,
Quebec.
no. Yeah.
Canada, it's all the same. It's confusing.
And Quebec is it's east of Ontario, but it isn't Canada's east coast.
Yeah.
We have further. We got an extra
Yeah.
time zone
Okay.
that way.
Yeah. Liking it so far?
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, sure. Like
Good.
hopefully I will be getting some work soon. That's my biggest thing for out here, getting work. I've had a few interviews, but now I'm uh working with there's something called Work BC. It's an office. I think it's done by the government. They help you get do redo your resume. You know, they'll even pay for you to take courses if they
Right.
think it's feasible, like, forklift drivers course or first aid or whatever. So
Oh,
maybe
cool.
some other courses or whatever. But I'm probably
Well,
going to
when
take
you
them
get
on.
ready to come on, just hit me up again. We haven't had you on in a while, and we need to get you back on, man.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
know, I know people ask, where's Rick? I hadn't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Well,
Wise Guys. I don't think I've ever had Wise Guys on. I know he streams and stuff, but I
yeah,
haven't seen Wise Guys in a while. I mean, in a chat here or there, and I know he streamed the other night, but some
yeah,
people you miss if you don't see them.
yeah. But yeah, well, I've been doing my Tuesday nights ever since
Hmm.
I became in a sense homeless. Staying
Yeah.
on my
Well,
cousin's couch.
usually on Tuesday nights I'm on topicless. So that's
Yeah,
why I've been missing it. So forgive me,
yeah.
and
No
I've been
problem.
doing
No
that for
problem.
over 2 years. So I think I'm probably going to stick with that. And actually
Yeah,
on Tuesday nights, I've been after that going on another show after that. So it's like, woo,
yeah.
Tuesdays
I
have been
get it.
busy
We all
for me.
have our routines, whatever you want to call them. But
Hmm.
we all have where we've planned to be each and every week. For different things. So hey,
And you
it's
used to, I think it's funny, you used to have the 5 o'clock shadow, and I have the 4 o'clock shadow.
yeah. You didn't realize
I
when I
didn't know.
restarted back. Like,
Because you did
well,
it way back when, before I even got on YouTube.
yeah,
You've been on YouTube a lot longer than I have.
yeah.
Or,
Since 2018.
yeah. Yeah, I got
So
on about maybe 2020, maybe. So you were on
eh,
a couple years before me.
yeah,
20 or 21, somewhere in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
It all just becomes a blur at a point. The only way that I know is every so often I go back and look at my playlist, like my videos. Oh, okay,
I don't know
when
what
did
I
that?
was viewing on YouTube early, but I was viewing stuff that wasn't comic related. I didn't know that there was this whole comic scene going on. If I did, then I would have glommed onto it. But then, and while we were developing, while I was doing some other stuff, I just didn't follow YouTube like I should. And then I got back to it, found Ethan doing the draw streams, other stuff, and then I would
Mm,
occasionally catch them live. And I didn't understand all this, exactly what it was. So how to navigate it and do it. And
yeah,
but once I
yeah,
did, I got in with people like Jason Bascom and
yeah,
Apex Comics and things, and eventually
yeah.
figured it out, and started
It
doing
was
my own
just
thing.
it was a little bit before finding Ethan that I started watching YouTube on a regular basis. I had heard about YouTube for years, but it's like I didn't even go here, create an
Mhm.
account, and it's like
Yeah. Well, I
finally,
did, and then I stopped going, and then I came back,
uh,
and that's when I
yeah,
found Ethan and what was going on, and getting with Apex. He was like, "You need to put up content on your channel," because I started my channel in August, and it was from August to December before I started putting up content on my channel.
yeah,
I had opened up the account, started the channel, didn't have any subscribers at all, no content. Nobody knew I was out there or even had a channel. But he challenged me, you know, I want to see in 4 days, I want to see 2 videos up. I said, okay. Figured out how to do it and put up 6.
yeah.
And
Oh, cool.
now I've got over 3,200 videos up. Woo!
Yeah, I'm not sure how many I have, but I know I have over 1,000, maybe close to 2,000.
Well,
I
when
don't
you
know.
do daily and you do more than one, they accumulate real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Like heck, 2 or 3 years ago, I was doing two a day.
Hmm.
Two live streams a day, one at noon and then one at 10.
Well, that's 600 and that's 700 and over 700 videos right there, in a year's
Yeah, and
time.
I'm pretty sure I did that for a good year.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I appreciate you having me on, man.
yeah,
We'll have to do this
yeah,
again.
For
This
sure,
was a
for
lot of
sure.
fun.
Yes, it was. So, anything else you want to say before we end? For, besides, go buy the book.
Yeah, absolutely. Go buy the book over on Fund My Comic. Support me. You can leave a tip over there for Fund My Comic if you want. That helps the campaign too. Get me up on the front page. Keep me up on the front page, on their algorithm. It helps Fund My Comic too, of putting up great projects like this. They do children's books to comic books to, and they're opening up a sister platform for other inventions and other things besides comics and gaming things. I think it's a great platform. I'll exclusively be over there, or I'll either put it back issues up on my eBay, which I've done like 20 years, or I'll put it over on Shopify. But I probably won't do anything on any other platform. Like Indiegogo. I started out on Indiegogo. Don't like the
Yeah.
shadow banning thing.
Yeah.
And putting together a campaign ain't easy,
True, true, true. Very true.
and doing it upright. So I'm very, very grateful for all the backers that make this possible, but also all the artists that have helped me along the way, all the YouTubers just explaining, technical things
Yeah.
along the way. And just grateful for John, for my good friend John coming and, making this a reality where we can take it and expound on it. He was the one that, along with myself, that kind of formed the seed of Devil Flyer to be able to grow into a mighty oak,
True.
into something larger. So there was something else I wanted to say. It was just, Justin K. Sweet that did Chrome Dog. And I believe his is still up there. I'm not sure on Fund My Comic. It was on Indiegogo as well. I wouldn't have had this campaign possible if it wasn't for Justin. He did a great job. He continues to work on it. He'll be adding some new stuff tomorrow on the campaign. Today's his anniversary. Happy anniversary, by the way, Justin. Don't know how long he's been married, but absolutely hold on to her and hug her. Like he says, it's only comics. There are more important things than comics. But I
True,
do
true, true.
appreciate all his help. He's the one that makes this possible.
For sure.
He's the expert, not me. I just
Yeah.
write the comics and draw them and hire others to do so as well.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for coming on. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will be back next week. And of course, I will be putting up my possible music score
Oh
in
boy.
the same time as well. So again, thanks everybody. We'll catch you all next week. So bye for now. God bless. Have a great and
God bless.
wonderful day. Love you all. God bless.
Keep collecting.